like clock, I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols, reaming my body.
Alright guys, in this video I want to talk about some spoilers that were actually released and translated by Organic Dinosaur. The specific episodes are going to be episode 195 through 198. There's going to be a lot of things in these couple of episodes, and of course the biggest theme is going to be the future fight with Delta and Naruto. But to not waste your time, we're going to get right into the actual spoilers. The first one is going to be episode 195. The title is going to be The Flower Vase. Now into the actual paragraph, it says, in order to purchase a new flower vase, Kawaki and Naruto head downtown. They happen to encounter Sada along the way, and so together they then go all the way to the Yamanaka flower shop that's being operated by Ino. And perhaps due to his upbringing, Kawaki treats Sada brusquely when she tries to strike up a conversation with him. Kawaki bumps into a child while going down the street and reflexively attacks him. Amongst other things, it doesn't seem as if he can adapt well to normal life. Alright, now this episode right here seems pretty tame. It doesn't necessarily seem to be that insane. One of the things that I do want to point out is obviously Kawaki and Naruto spending a lot of time together, and of course that right there is definitely going to garner a lot of attention from people who actually do have a lot of interest in the character of Kawaki. And not only that, Kawaki is also going to meet Sada for one of the first times. I know previously people kind of shipped Sada and Kawaki together, so possibly we can kind of get to see a little bit of something in this episode right here. I don't know, that right there doesn't necessarily really matter to me. The big thing though is going to obviously be Kawaki acclimating to the Hidden Leaf Village. We've seen how Kawaki is getting a little bit more used to the Uzumaki household. How is he going to get used to the Hidden Leaf Village as a whole? How is he going to feel with a bunch of other ninjas and a bunch of other kids surrounding him? That right there is definitely going to be very interesting. Now the next one is going to be episode 196. This title is going to be A Power That Connects. Now into the actual paragraph it says, since Naruto suggests that they might get to investigate karma, Kawaki decides to observe a father and son matchup between Naruto and Boruto. During their shinobi sparring bout, Boruto seems to have a good command over using his forte, which is Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, aka Shadow Clone Jutsu. Amongst employing other strategies, he engages in battle against his father with it. However, it's apparent that there is still a huge difference in strength between them. Witnessing their match, Kawaki tells Boruto to use the power of karma in order for them to study it further. Meanwhile, even Kawaki seems to develop an interest in the Shadow Clone Jutsu that is being used by the father-son duo, since it's both Naruto and Boruto's specialty. Alright, so now this episode right here seems to be a little bit more interesting. I think one of the more important things I should kind of mention is the fact that these episodes will actually be adapting the Boruto manga. So of course, specifically, the last episode that I did talk about, specifically episode 195, will be adapting chapter 28, and the one that I just read will be adapting chapter 29. So if you guys do want to follow along and actually get a little bit of spoilers or a little bit more spoilers specifically pertaining with those episodes, you guys can do that right there. But specifically talking about this paragraph, it seems like Naruto and Boruto, they're actually going to be sparring in this episode, which is going to be a very interesting thing. We did kind of see them spar a bit a couple of episodes ago when Naruto was actually testing out his arm, but now in this episode it's going to be even more important, mainly because now Boruto is actually going to activate his Karma Seal and then spar against Naruto. So of course they're going to be gaining a lot more intel about the Karma Seal. Also, we can kind of get to see how much stronger the Karma Seal makes Boruto. One of the things that was made blatantly clear is the fact that the Karma Seal put Kawaki on a completely different level when he was fighting against Garo. Now I don't necessarily expect Boruto to be anywhere close to Naruto. That would be absolutely insane, but I do expect the huge gap to be closed a tiny bit, and of course all the power scaling is going to come from Naruto himself. Is Naruto going to say that Boruto gotten noticeably faster, gotten noticeably stronger, and not only that, is Boruto going to be able to utilize a lot of the abilities of the Karma Seal, similar to how Kawaki utilized a lot of the abilities of the Karma Seal? For example, the Kai Blast, if you guys want to call it that, from like Dragon Ball Z. And not only that, more importantly, the absorption of chakra. Now the next episode is going to be episode 197. Now the title of this episode is going to be Delta. Now into the actual paragraph it says, in order to skillfully gain control over using the karma, Boruto decides to trade in with Kawaki under an actual combat scenario. Himawari and Naruto, who is his father and the Hokage, watch over them attentively. Boruto and Kawaki have the opportunity to activate the Karma Seal and wield it against one another. But at that moment, one of the top brass of Kada, Delta, joins up with Kashin Koji in pursuit to track down Kawaki's whereabouts. For some reason, Kashin Koji is able to easily slip through the Konoha sensory system. Kashin Koji then trespasses upon the village, leaving Delta behind, and so she has no other option but to wait upon Kashin Koji's return. Now this right here seems very interesting. It seems like the Kada organization is now starting to make their move to potentially try to get back Kawaki. Now in this particular paragraph, one of the more important statements is the fact that Kashin Koji himself slipped past the Konoha sensory system. Now, if you guys don't necessarily recall what the sensory system is, it's pretty much whenever somebody enters the Hidden Leaf Village and they don't necessarily have a chakra that's pretty much native to the Hidden Leaf Village or familiar to the Hidden Leaf Village, it automatically sends signals to the sensory ninjas, aka we actually did an episode about this a couple episodes ago, and Naruto realized that there could possibly be people in the Hidden Leaf Village that had some sort of connections to the Kata organization. Turns out that one of those were Ao, and not only that, Inojin also had an episode where he was trained to actually sense some foreign chakras, and of course he ended up being able to do that as well. It turns out that Kashin Koji's chakra is going to be actually native and actually familiar to the Hidden Leaf Village. Now this right here is going to be very suspicious, mainly because earlier on in the anime, Kashin Koji said that his fate was going to be linked to the Hidden Leaf Village. It seems like Kashin Koji has been to the Hidden Leaf Village before, and of course theories of Kashin Koji potentially having some sort of relations with Jiraiya is definitely going to be hyping up in this episode right here. Now for the people who read the Boruto manga, I want you guys to be quiet in the comment section below and try to not spoil a lot of people in the comment section, but regardless, this episode is definitely going to be about that. Not only that, another big part of this episode is going to have to be Boruto fighting against Kawaki. Both of them are utilizing the Karma Seal. In my opinion, this right here has to be animated to damn near perfection. Of course, not necessarily to the point of like episode 189, episode 65 or anything like that, but I definitely do expect this episode to definitely be a very, very pretty episode, just because of the sheer fact that it's Boruto versus Kawaki for the first time with the Karma Seal activated. It's going to be very, very huge, and the Boruto manga was huge, so I'm definitely expecting the Boruto anime to actually portray that in this episode. Now, the next one is going to be episode 198. The title's going to be Monsters. Now, into the actual paragraph, it says, Delta forcibly intrudes upon the village in an attempt to retrieve Kawaki and appears in front of Boruto and the others. Naruto stands in the way in order to protect Boruto, Himawari, and Kawaki. Delta's entire body has been remodeled with scientific ninja tools that she can freely use at will to attack Naruto. In order to compete with her, Naruto also uses the power of the Kyuubi in order to settle the battle. Both of them possess combat capabilities that make them seem like monsters in their own right when they fiercely clash against one another. Alright, now this right here is something that I talked about in one of my previous videos, how it's pretty much confirmed now that Naruto is actually going to be fighting against Delta. This is going to be the first time that we do actually see an inner member of the Kata organization fight one of the top higher ranking ninjas of the Hidden Leaf Village, obviously Naruto being the most strongest ninja in the Hidden Leaf Village. This right here is going to be an absolutely insane episode. In my opinion, I think this episode right here, or this fight right here I should say, is probably going to be animated to damn near perfection. This right here, I think you could kind of put it or kind of stack it up to episode 189. I know a lot of you guys kind of get confused when I just thought the episode number, so specifically episode 189 was the episode when Kawaki fought against Garo. I expect this fight right here to be animated to that type of level, and now don't get me wrong, I don't necessarily expect it to match that, but of course it should definitely be up there in terms of the actual animations and art style, because in the Boruto manga, this fight right here to this day is still arguably one of the biggest fights to date. But let me know what you guys think about these spoilers in the comment section below, and give me the episode that you guys are going to be most excited for. In my opinion, I think it's a no-brainer. It has to be episode 198, specifically just for me, just because of the sheer fact that we have Naruto fighting against Delta. You get to see everybody in the Hidden Leaf Village now understand that there is an actual foe out there that could potentially rival against Naruto and rival against Sasuke and things like that. It's going to be absolutely insane. But let me know what you guys think. It's been your boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife.